Welcome into Outkick the show. I am your fearless leader, Clay Travis. I hope wherever you may be across this great country or this great land, you are having a fantastic Wednesday. We are having fantastic Wednesdays all over the country. If you are an Outkick fan, let me clean off a little bit. Is that clearer now? Hold on. Let me clean off Facebook. It looks a little bit foggy. I look a little bit like I'm in heaven here. Let me clean off my camera. Is that crisper? I think that's a bit crisper on the picture there. I appreciate all of you. I want to tell you right off the top, I just saw somebody saying I just joined the Outkick VIP. Thank you. We had books arrive today. We have more books arriving from the publisher. We had to order thousands of them. And there are thousands of books, and I got to get them turned out as fast as possible. I got to sign them. My wife is going to be mad because there's going to be big stacks of books in the house, and I don't want my wife mad. So I'm going to sign them as rapidly as we possibly can. If you have signed up for Outkick VIP and you haven't gotten your copy of the book yet, we are getting them out starting hopefully this week. Thousands of them are starting to ship out, but you can go sign up right now for Outkick VIP. You get the ability to comment on all of our articles. You get the ability to have access to our message board, exclusive Zoom calls with Jason Whitlock and myself, autographed copy, as I said, of my book, Outkick VIP phone call to be able to call directly into the show and skip ahead of the line. All of that is easy to do. You will be glad that you signed up. It's a tremendous value. We even have a monthly package for those of you out there that don't want to sign up all at once. Go sign up for the Outkick VIP today. We tripled, by the way, the amount of gear we sold in August. There are tons of Outkick shirts, polos, everything you can possibly imagine. Lots of Outkick related gear all over the Outkick website. Like I said, we tripled our apparel sales in August from July, and I appreciate all of you who've been buying left and right. All right, we got a lot to get into. And I want to start with the biggest story that I think is going on right now in sports, and it is the battle between the Corona Bros and the Big Ten non-Corona Bros, okay? Here's what we got going on. And some people out there like Dan Woken was mad at me. He's like, why is Clay Travis trying to work and get the Big Ten back to play? Which is ironic because there are so many people out there in sports media who have done everything they could to get college football stopped. And I'm out there fighting as hard as I can to get college football back to be a reality this season. And a lot of people out there are like, what are you doing? The blue checkmark brigade, the Corona Bros, they're upset because I'm throwing punches back. And the reality is this: I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize for fighting the good fight for football and all sports to happen. I believe, unlike the Corona Bros, that every single part of sports should be back up and running. From your kids' little league all the way up to the NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, you name it, all sports should be being played right now. And I'm not going to make any apologies for doing whatever I can to work with whoever I can to make that more likely to happen. So, if you want some meek, pathetic loser who is going to sit around and allow other people to take things from him, I ain't your guy. If you want somebody who's going to load up and throw punches harder than the punches that get thrown at him, then Outkick is your place and I am your guy. Because I am fighting for all of you, the players, the coaches, the parents, the fans, everybody in the Big Ten who wants there to be college football this fall. I'm throwing punches as hard as I possibly can at the Corona Bros every day who are working their best to try to get football canceled. Now, where are we? Right now, we need to swing 6 votes at least to get the Big Ten back playing. What do I mean by that? The Big Ten voted 11-3 to cancel the fall college football season. The only 3 schools that voted in favor of playing were Ohio State, Iowa, and Nebraska. Okay? what we have to do in order for play to come back is get to 60% of the conference. That means 6 states have to flip their votes. We need pressure on the presidents and the chancellors to look at the data. Coronavirus cases are collapsing. The number of coronavirus deaths, quotation marks, because most people who are being counted as a coronavirus death are actually just dying with the coronavirus, not of the coronavirus, all right? And so, if you start to work through here, what we need to do, here's where I'm going to start. If you live in the state of Indiana, or we clip this and we share it so Indiana residents can all see it, Notre Dame is playing with fans in the state of Indiana. What sense does it make that Indiana and Purdue, with a Republican governor and a former Republican governor as the president of Purdue University, can't find a way to play? That's 2 votes right now that should immediately be flipped. State of Indiana, if you are watching this and you are in the Hoosier state, your state is failing the Big Ten. Purdue and Indiana should be 100% in favor of playing Big Ten football. That happens, that gets us to 5. Where are the other 4 votes that could make this happen? All right? Michigan. Michigan should be ashamed of itself. Michigan and Michigan State should both be voting to play. So should Wisconsin. So should Penn State. Boom. That gets us to 9. Right there, I just ran through it. Now, you can put pressure on Minnesota. You can put pressure on Rutgers, which, let's be honest, should Rutgers even count? Why does Rutgers get a vote in the Big Ten anyway? You can put pressure on Maryland, which is starting to open up in a big way. All of the decisions not to play have been intensely political, okay? And so I don't think it's political to be in favor of football. I don't think football should be partisan. I think it's absolute insanity that if your kid lives in a state with a Republican governor, he gets to play high school football. If your kid lives in a state with a Democratic governor, he does not get to play high school football. What sense does that make? The data is clear. There's virtually no risk to young people playing sports across this country, whether it's Little League all the way through pro sports. Virtually zero, okay? And so I am going to fight as hard as I possibly can for the Big Ten. I think we've already won the battle. Tomorrow, college football FBS officially kicks off. I think we've already won the battle in the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12. But I don't want to give the Corona Bros any victories. I want to line up and I want to drill them over and over and over again right in their pathetic, fearful little mouths, all right? I want to hit them right in the teeth. I want them to feel it all the way to the core of their soul. I want them to wear this defeat, and I'm not going to apologize for fighting as hard as I can alongside of the president, alongside of the governor of Florida, the governor of Tennessee, the governor of Texas, governors of any state, senators, anybody out there who's in favor of getting people back to work. I want it to happen. And by the way, people like Gretchen Whitmer, who's afraid to come on my radio program, I don't blame her, because I would slice and dice her to the extreme. I'd rock a mic like a vandal, go vanilla ice on her, 1990 style, and there would be absolutely nothing left of her because her argument has absolutely no basis. I care about 3 things: the facts, the facts, the facts. And the facts are these. It's past time to open back up in every state. It is past time for every kid to be back in school. And it is past time for every sport to be playing, period. All right? That is the takeaway. Now, some of you say, why are you not fighting for the Pac-12 or the Mountain West or the MAC? Because those different conferences have not actually fought for themselves. I got to give props to the Pac-10, to the Big Ten. Coaches, players, ADs, fans, parents, they have fought to make college football happen in their conference. The Pac-12 has meekly accepted what they have been given. The same thing happened in the MAC. The same thing happened in the Mountain West. I'm not going to fight for you if you're not willing to fight for yourself. All right? I fight for people who are willing to fight for themselves. That's why, my Big Ten brethren, I am with you, and I am fighting as hard as I possibly can. Corona Bros, it's been a rough couple of weeks for the Corona Bros. Tomorrow, when college football FBS kicks off, it'll be an even rougher time for them. All right, couple of other things. Ohio State's president, credit to her for having the stones to step out. She said in an interview with local Columbus media, quote, she's very hopeful the season will be played this fall. I got to give her a lot of props for stepping out, having the boldness, the tenacity, the audacity, the fearlessness to look at the data and make the smart decisions, just like happened in Nebraska, just like happened in Iowa. We got to swing 6 more presidents and chancellors, and you guys know, I've never been the biggest Ohio State guy, but they're going to have me up to Columbus to dot the I before all of this is over, because I have become the biggest proponent for Ohio State being able to play, for the Big Ten being able to play in the entirety of this universe. All right? Love it. I absolutely love it. Props to the Ohio State president. Kirk Cousins. I love this quote. A lot of people are paying a lot of attention to Kirk Cousins saying, if I die, I die, when he was asked about the coronavirus, okay? I prefer this answer. Kyle Brandt, who does great work on Good Morning Football, asked him on a scale of 1 to 10, how afraid of the coronavirus are you? And Kirk Cousins responded that he is are you ready for it? 0.000001 on the scale of 1 to 10 when it comes to being afraid of the coronavirus. All hail Kirk Cousins. I hope he sticks with it. I like that indeed. 0.00, he's asked again, on a scale of 1 to 10, how afraid of you are the coronavirus? Kirk Cousins with the answer 0.00000. That's 5 zeros, 1. Way below a 1 on the scale of 1 to 10. Love Kirk Cousins coming out as the most prominently anti-Corona bro athlete so far in the country. I hope he doesn't walk this back. I hope he owns it and continues to say the data reflects that no one who is young and healthy is actually in danger from this. We got to stop this idea of curling up in the fetal position and allowing the Corona bros to dictate the way that our sports are talked about, and frankly, the way that our country talks about everything from a social policy perspective. So I love it. Again, Kirk Cousins, want to give him a shout out. Love that he has now adopted the anti-Corona bro perspective. He is now king of the Corona bro slayers in the media. I'm sure he's going to get crushed, but that is Kirk Cousins rising up and dunking on the Corona bros, all balls in the face style, and telling them to wear it. How scared are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 0.00001. Wear it, Kirk Cousins. I like that indeed. A couple of other things. The Dow has broken through 29,000, or at least it had when I sat down to do this discussion. Now, the Dow is not an accurate reflection of the entire stock market. The S&P 500, a little bit better of an accurate reflection. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ have already set all-time highs. But we have now got, I'm going to make the V for you, we have now got a V-shaped economic recovery in the stock market. I told you on this show, I told you on my radio program, I said, hey, when the stock market was down in March, I said what I was doing, kept putting every dollar I had into it because of the bargains I was able to get, and I told you guys to do the same thing. I said, do not allow fear to terrorize you and make you sell and become a sheep. You need to think like an intellectual lion. And Warren Buffett said it best, be greedy when others are fearful, be greedy when others are fearful, be the opposite the opposite of greedy when others are greedy. What's the rest of that quote? I screwed up that quote. The point is, you don't even have to listen to quotes. If you had just listened to me and blindly bought Every stock that I told you, without knowing anything about the stock market, you would have 4 or 5 times your money in the place of in a short period of time. Be fearful when others are greedy. Right, that's what it is. Be fearful. Anyway, that's the Warren Buffett quote. I mangled it. I crushed it. My bad there. The point is, if you just bought stocks like I said, you would be in incredible position. Okay? I have made a boatload of money. I hope you have made a boatload of money. And some people say, well, I don't have as much money as you. Well, I don't have as much money as Warren Buffett. I've got a lot less money than a lot of people. They made a lot more money than me. You have to start somewhere. This idea that if somebody has more than you shouldn't do anything is how Corona Bros think. All right? I'm going to use Corona Bro forever because Corona Bros are defeatist. They are pessimist. They expect to lose in life. They expect the worst thing to happen. You can't think like a Corona Bro. You got to think like a playmaker. You got to think like a shooter. Everything's not going to go your way, but you have to start somewhere. So even if you only have $100 to invest the $100. Even if you've only got $10, invest the $10. Now, I'm not saying necessarily to do it now while the market's at its peak, but over time, you're going to make 8-9% a year. Just put it away. Don't look at it. Don't panic. And actually, when others are panicking, go grab it, right? I mean, this isn't complicated. And so don't think like a Corona Bro. We just passed from March to now, I believe, is the greatest buying opportunity that most of us will have in our lifetimes. But there will be others. There will be others. If you had just dialed out for 6 months and not paid attention to anything, you probably would have done better than to watch the news and panic sell like so many different people. All right? Over time, if you don't want to buy individual stocks, buy S&P 500 spider funds. That exposes you to the entire stock market. Put it aside. Keep putting your money in. Don't worry about it. You don't need to day trade. You don't need to be making decisions on a minute-by-minute basis about your stock portfolio. Make the right decision. Get out of the way. Don't look at it for a few years. And when you look at it again, you're going to have more money. And then don't look at it for a few more years. And when you look at it again, you're going to have more too. That's the way to end up wealthy, regardless of how much money you are actually able to invest in at a particular point in time. Now, I was right. I was 1 billion% right about everything going on in the stock market when I told you guys to buy. If you go back and look at the stocks that I told you to buy, you would have made a ton of money. I tell you to do what I'm going to do. Sometimes I'm wrong. You're looking at a guy who lost $50,000 in pants, but you're also looking at a guy who has got a really big media company that he owns that is growing exponentially. The Corona Bros love exponential growth. Outkick is growing exponentially. 10 million readers in August. Biggest month ever for the podcast. Tens of millions of video views going up. Millions of video views on a day-to-day basis happening now sometimes. I'm telling you right now, I kind of know what I'm talking about. And I'll fight for you when it comes to college football and sports happening. All right, couple of other thoughts. Going out to watch the movies tonight. 3rd straight week I've gone to the movies. 2 weeks ago, I took the kids to go watch Empire Strikes Back. They were showing classic films in our local movie theater. Last week, I took the kids to go watch Ghostbusters. Both phenomenal movies. Took the 12-year-old, the 9-year-old, the 5-year-old. They all loved it. This week, I am taking my wife, and we are going to the IMAX theater, and we're going to go watch Tenet in release. New movie. I'm excited to see a new film out in the theaters. And so soon after I finish my television show here in a little bit, boom, hopping in the car, driving to the movie theater for the 3rd straight week, going to go watch Tenet. The point here, pretty straightforward. Live your life. Don't allow yourself to be terrified by the fear porn that isn't in any way an accurate reflection of what's going on in the larger universe. And again, I want to close out with a Rona update. Coronavirus cases collapsing in a hurry, hospitalizations collapsing in a hurry, the number of people overall that are dying collapsing in a hurry, and again, dying with the coronavirus as opposed to dying of the coronavirus. If you like me, encourage you to go check out Outkick every single day. We got a bunch of new hires we're making. If you don't like me, also encourage you to go check out Outkick and tell everybody how much you hate me. It's the best free advertising I can get. My name is Clay Travis. DBAP unless you need to SBAP. Go sign up for the Outkick VIP today. Go get hooked up with a lot of great Outkick gear. I appreciate all of you. Kisses. I'll see you guys on television here in a little bit, on the radio live tomorrow, and I'll be all over Outkick in general. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. See y'all. Love you. Thank you, Facebook. See y'all.